Rule number 71. A sentence with a present or future tense main verb will be followed by a present or perfect subjunctive verb in its dependent clause, and one with a past tense main verb by an imperfect or pluperfect subjunctive verb. This is the topic of sequence of tenses, or consecutio temporum in Latin. But before we get to the general discussion of the rule, we need to define a couple of terms that are going to be used throughout this video. First is what is called a primary tense. This is present, future, or future perfect indicative main verb. And the perfect tense when translated as have. The other three tenses, the imperfect, the perfect in general, and the pluperfect, are what are called secondary or historical tenses, which makes sense because these are all past tenses. Do you need to know these terms? Primary, secondary, historical? No, not really. And you can easily get by with this rule by looking at our tenses on this timeline, with the dividing line right here at the present, or a little bit before. Those to the right, the present and beyond, are in one group, and those to the left, the past and beyond, are in another group. This rule simply states that when the main indicative verb is in one of these primary sequences over here, we will use the present subjunctive for an action that's happening at the same time or in the future, and we could say an action that is incomplete, and the perfect subjunctive for an action that is already completed or in the past. And when the main indicative verb is in one of these secondary or historical tenses over here, we will use the imperfect subjunctive for an action that's happening at the same time or in the future, and the pluperfect subjunctive for an action that is already completed or in the past, compared to this main verb. This can be complex and hard to understand, so let's use a couple of visual cues to help describe this as we work through examples. On the left side of the screen, I'm going to show our main verb's tense, and on the right, I'll show the tense of our subjunctive verb. And I'll also show how these work with this handy timeline in the middle. And let's run through this by asking, and that's our main verb, about what you're doing, our subordinate action, so using an indirect question. And we begin in the present tense. Rogat quid facias. She is asking what you are doing. Present tense for the main verb has us in primary sequence, and so we are restricted to the present or perfect subjunctive. The present subjunctive facias tells us that she is asking what you are currently doing or going to do. But if we switch it to the perfect subjunctive feceres, she is asking what you have done, did, or did do. Now this tells us that she is asking what you did prior to her asking. What you did is now done, and she wants to know. Let's shift our asking into the past, though. We can choose rogavit or rogaverat, but let's go easy here with rogabat. And now we are in historical or secondary sequence. We also need to shift the tense of the verb in our subordinate clause. Rogabat quid faceres. She was asking what you were doing. The imperfect subjunctive faceres tells us that the asking is happening about a contemporaneous action, something going on at that time. But if we wanted her to ask about something that was already completed and done, we would have rogabat quid feceses. She was asking what you had done, and now the asking was about a completed action. Dux imperabat ut milites procederent. The general was ordering the soldiers to advance, or that the soldiers were to advance. Here we are operating in historical sequence with the main verb imperabat in the imperfect indicative, and so we use the imperfect subjunctive to show an incomplete action. Scribet ut nos moneat. He will write to warn us. Scribet is a future indicative, so we are in primary sequence, and we must use the present subjunctive to show an incomplete action. Hoc cum dixisset se ex navi projecit. After he had said this, he hurled himself from the ship. The perfect tense projecit, especially since we translate it as he hurled, puts us into historical sequence. And so the pluperfect subjunctive dixisset shows that the speaking is completed or in the past, when this soldier, here one of Caesar's aquilifers, left the ship. And one more example. Non dubito quin omnes amici scripserent. I don't doubt that all of your friends have written. Dubito is present indicative, and so we are in primary sequence, and our perfect subjunctive scripserent shows a completed action. The writing has already happened and is completed. A few notes. Many textbooks like to ease into the subjunctive mood and won't teach them all at the same time. This sequence of tenses is why the text that I use in my own classes introduces the imperfect and pluperfect subjunctive first. Our stories and examples are only in historical sequence. That is, we only see the subjunctive used in stories written with past tense main verbs. And the present and imperfect subjunctives are used for same time actions, but they can also show actions that have yet to occur, those that would be in the future. So magister discipulum hortatur ut cras reveniat. The teacher encourages his student to return tomorrow. And we have the present subjunctive reveniat, but it refers to an action that hasn't happened yet. And even if we shift this into historical sequence with hortabatur and reveniret, the imperfect subjunctive still shows this not yet action. And from Caesar, statunt ut decim milia hominum in opidum mittantur. They decide that 10,000 men should be sent or will be sent into the town. The present subjunctive mittantur clearly represents an action that hasn't happened yet and is incomplete. And the perfect subjunctive can be used to illustrate an action that in the indicative would regularly be an imperfect or perfect tense. So going back to our indirect question, rogat quid feceris can represent both rogat quid fecisti, she asks, what did you do? Or what have you done? And rogat quid faciebas, she asks, what were you doing? Oh, and exceptions exist. Well, not really exceptions as much as more nuanced applications that go well beyond the scope of this series. Despite all of these notes and exceptions, consecutio temporum sequence of tenses doesn't have to be that complicated. In short, the present and imperfect subjunctive tenses show same-time incomplete action, while perfect and pluperfect subjunctive tenses show past time or completed action. And when the main verb is in the present or future tenses, we choose either the present or perfect subjunctive, and when the main verb is in the past tense, we choose either the imperfect or pluperfect subjunctive. I encourage you to just go with it and embrace the idea behind rule number 71. A sentence with a present or future tense main verb will be followed by a present or perfect subjunctive verb in its dependent clause, and one with a past tense main verb by an imperfect or pluperfect subjunctive verb.